Hey there, welcome everyone guys. This is Asgroup, I'm Shambo and I'm back with another dancing line tutorial. Well, in this tutorial you will learn how to create the vehicle movement script. It was asked a long time back by Flying Lion, Eggroll and a lot of others. They wanted to make a vehicle on which the cube will land and the vehicle will move. Just like the surfboard in Plains Reggae remix and in the Christmas Eve, that what? The snowboard. And also in my fanman level, happy birthday, the paper plane. Well, so I was making this tutorial yesterday. The video got deleted due to my PC's problem. I'm making it again today. So I already have a complete scene set up for this. But bef- before I go ahead, I'm gonna tell you how I came to this point, like how the vehicle movement script was made. I'm gonna tell you the way you can do it too, because we are not always making videos, we don't get much time, and we won't be able to make videos throughout March. From 2nd March to 2nd April we have a month long examination, so it's gonna get hard for us to make videos. So that you don't have to wait for a long time, I'm gonna tell you how you can solve your very own problems. Okay, so first let's look how the vehicle moves. The vehicle moves forward, that is in the z-axis, in the positive direction of the z-axis. The vehicle moves forward and takes turns towards its right or left according to clicks alternately. So it moves just like the line without creating subsequent cubes behind it. So let's take a look at the cube movement script. So we have a cube movement script over here. This was provided to me by Eggroll. So basically all this stuff will be same. We just won't have this thing because we don't want a trail behind the vehicle. So, and one more thing, how do you stop the cube and start the vehicle? Well, over here we have, as you can see, started a boolean variable. When started is true, the cube is moving. So we need to somehow make started false to not let the cube move. And we will also have a similar variable in our vehicle movement script that will be turned to true when the cube's started is made false. How do we make the started false? Using a trigger that is placed on the vehicle. We need to make the started boolean static at first. So I had already done that. As you can see, it is public static bool started equal to false. Now let's get over to the vehicle movement script. So as you can see, the variables will be somewhat same. It's gonna be public game object vehicle, its speed, the vector position for its the position. I guess we don't need the position, so let's remove this. We don't need this. Okay. Next we need the loop count for the turn. Then is alive is just in case you want to add the die function. Yes, not just in case, you have to add a die method for this. That is in cube movement we can see the die method is this on collision enter. When colliding with some object that is tagged as obstacle, all these new cubes are created and they like fly away in random directions. We don't want that. So in the vehicle's case, I won't be showing it, but you can always do it. Just add this private void on collision enter. This method check whether the game object's tag is obstacle or not, and then run any animation for the death effect that you want to show with the vehicle. Like for paper planes, it can be like the paper plane takes a nosedive, something like that. Uh, so let's get over here and let's come back. We have got this static boolean v start, that is vehicle start, by default false. Now you might be thinking, what is this? Okay, so a model is not always looking forward in the z-axis. In my case, in this scene, as you can see, this is my paper plane. If I click on it, okay, if I click on it, You can see the z-axis pointing towards its back. That simply means if I choose this line, if I put this line, this one, transform.translate vector3.forward, the plane will move backwards. That's why we need to move the plane backwards instead to actually move it forward. That's why various models can have their z-axis at different locations. So all the 6 ways in which an object can move are up, down, forward, backward, left, and right. We're going to add a list for all of them. We will create an enumerator move and have this list. Then we will create a variable of the data type move and call it move type. Saving this would give us this list over here, and we've chosen backward. And this quick 1 and quick 2 are the turns the paper plane or the vehicle's gonna take when you click for the first time and you click for the second time, and that is what loops over. Next up, when the base start is true, the plane needs to move. That's why using a switch case we'll be checking what is the move type. If it's up, we will go vector3.up. Similarly, it's similar for down, left, right, forward, backward. And in case of button click, mouse button click, we're gonna go and change its rotation in these two different vectors. Now, another thing, how to change these static values. We need another script. I've called it starter. This is a simple trigger script wherein when the trigger means the cube enters the trigger on any object that is tagged as player, it's gonna check for this. If I click on the trigger, you see it's check cube start and it's by default a false. It's a boolean. If cube started false, then it will stop the cube. As you can see, if cube start is true, it makes the cube movement of start variable true, else it makes it false, and vice versa for the vehicle movement start. So this is what we're gonna do. Next thing, make sure you have a mesh collider on your vehicle. If I choose paper plane, I have a mesh collider. And now if I click over here, you can see a few stops over here. Those are the stoppers. As soon as the cube lands on the plane, the cube won't go with the plane. You gotta push it somehow. That's why we have a child cube objects over here whose mesh is not being rendered. We have a collider. They just keep the cube within themselves. If I click here stopper, you can see they form a cage over here. You can see the cube needs to stay within them. Next, this should not be active right at the beginning. They should become active as soon as you drop on the vehicle. This needs to get activated. So let's get into vehicle movement script. Let's create a new game object and call it the stopper. So public game object stopper. When v star equal to true, means the vehicle is moving, we're gonna make stopper active. Stopper and game object. Let's say active. True. And when it's not what? When v start is not true. Let's okay, over here. Else we're gonna do the same thing. Just make it false. So that when we stop the vehicle, the cube needs to slide off the vehicle. And if the stoppers are there, it won't happen. It will just make them inactive when the vehicle stops. So let's go to Unity. Let's wait for it to get refreshed. And so paper plane, you put the stopper. Let's make this stopper inactive by default. Oh come on. Okay. We're pretty much good to go. We're gonna check it. And if there's some bug, we're gonna debug it. Let's go. Let's see. Okay, so it fell down. Are the stoppers active? Okay, so somewhat the stoppers are not working. Let's go. Let's make sure the stoppers are fine. Just don't let the cube go. Let's go hit the mesh renderer on. And let's make sure they're well placed. Let's make them a little bigger. Make this a little closer. Bigger. Cool. Let's try. Okay, so it's not stopping. Let's enter debugging mode. This logic is a bit different. Give me some time. So let's create a parent boolean. I guess this is not working. He has got the same boolean over here. The boolean is false, and I click it, it comes back to true. So the trigger is not working. I guess I'll create a new boolean over here. And keep all this stuff under that. And I'll do static from here. This is gonna pop up an error. Should work now. Let's go. Let's play. It is falling down because of the improper placement of the stoppers. So you gotta try it a few times before you get yourself the most comfortable place. And once again, this is not absolutely a plane. You can see over here there's a little curve over here. That's why once again there's a destabilization going on. So that's basically it. I'll put all these three scripts in the description. Go check it out. And well, thanks for watching. And just make sure that you align the stopper correctly. Once again, thanks for watching. Thank you.